this story, and I choose one of the
Okay.
superhero. You choose one Star Wars, I choose one superhero.
Okay.
Good.
Short negotiations. Read about the Star Wars. Short. Hi. Star Wars 5 minutes strike back. I choose one. Short negotiations.
I'm going to choose this story. This story is so short.
It's not so short. It's just the title is short negotiation. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, a slick ship sped through the darkest reaches of space toward the beautiful green planet of Naboo. Inside were two Jedi, a master named Qui-Gon Jinn and an apprentice named Obi-Wan Kenobi. They were an important mission. There was trouble in the corner of galaxy, although the people of Naboo and their leader, Queen Amidala, were peaceful and kind, and the greedy Trade Federation had surrounded the planet with huge battleship.
This story is so short.
It's okay, we can read that. The Trade Federation was using those ships to stop any food or supplies from reaching Naboo. The small planet needed the Jedi's help. Jedi Master Qui-Gon was confident that the negotiation would be short. He was sure they could convince the Trade Federation to remove its blockades and free Naboo. What the Jedi didn't know was that the evil Sith Lord Darth Sidious was commanding the Trade Federation, and it was about to invade Naboo. Nobody had expected the Jedi to arrive. The Trade Federation Viceroy, who was in charge of the blockade, contacted Darth Sidious to ask what they should do. This turn of events is unfortunate. The hologram of Darth Sidious told the Viceroy, "We must accelerate our plans, begin landing your troops." And the Jedi? The Viceroy asked. Darth Sidious ordered the Viceroy to get rid of Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. The Viceroy had poisonous gas pumped into the room where the Jedi were waiting. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan ignited their lightsabers, but the weapons were no use against the heavy gas that filled the air. The Vizier sent his battle droids to dispose of the Jedi, but when the droids opened the door, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan leapt out, ready to fight. They had held their breaths to survive the poisonous gas. The battle droids were armed with powerful blasters, but the Jedi blocked every shot with their lightsabers. The powerful laser swords flashed and spark flew as they defeated the droid soldiers. In a panic, the Vizier sailed off the bridge, trying to prevent the Jedi from getting in. "I want Droidekas up here at once," he cried. Then the blast doors protecting the bridge slammed shut too. But Qui-Gon pressed his lightsaber into the middle and began to cut through. "Impossible!" cried the Vizier. "This is impossible!" He hadn't counted on the power of a Jedi laser sword or the strength of the Jedi will. But just as Qui-Gon was about to break through the door to the bridge, two whirling wheels of metal spun into the hallway. "Master," Obi-Wan explained, "it destroyed droids." The Droidekas has arrived and the droids uncoiled from the wheel-like form. Powerful energy shield appeared around them as they began firing their blaster at the Jedi. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan used their lightsabers to block the heavy blast. The burst of dangerous light bounced off of the Jedi weapons and raced back towards the deadly destroyers, but the blast simply fizzled against the droid's shield. The shield generators were powerful, the destroyer droids were an even match for the Jedi. It was a standoff. The Jedi decided to outrun the droid. Luckily, their Jedi powers gave them incredible speed. "Let's go!" Qui-Gon told Obi-Wan, and in sudden blur, the two Jedi fled. By the time the destroyer droids turned to look for them, they were already disappearing around a corner at the other end of the long hallway. Meanwhile, the Trade Federation's vast army of battle droids, tanks, and warships was preparing to invade Naboo. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan traveled through the air vent down to the huge hangar where they could see the battle droids preparing to lead. "It's an invasion army," Obi-Wan explained. How the Jedi knew the truth. All along, the Trade Federation had been gearing up for war. "We've got to arm the Naboo," Qui-Gon said. "Let's split up, stow apart aboard separate ships, and meet down on the planet." Obi-Wan nodded. They had to help. The people of Naboo were peaceful. They had done nothing to deserve this. It would be hard and dangerous, but that was the life of a Jedi. Just as the two Jedi were about to part ways, something occurred to Obi-Wan and he smiled. You were right about one thing, he told his master. The negotiations were short. The end.
I think this story was very short.
Okay,
right?
let's do dinner. Attack of the Clones.
I don't want to. Can I choose one? I want to choose one.
Okay, choose the one. Okay, choose the one.
No, I choose one more Star of Distance.
Okay, come on.
I choose one more Star Wars book and then one more superhero book. Is that okay?
Okay, don't come low. Yan Wiley, it's time to sleep. Captured in Canto Bright, the Resistance was in trouble. The First Order had found a way to track the Resistance fleet through the hyperspace. With the First Order tracking them, the Resistance couldn't escape. Finn and the fellow Resistance fighter Rose had flown to the glamorous city of Canto Bright on the planet of Cantonica. They were there to find a master codebreaker who could help them sneak on board the First Order ship that was tracking the Resistance fleet and disable the tracking device. But they had been captured by the Canto Bright police for crashing on a private beach and were locked in prison. Time was running out. Finn and Rose needed to escape to help the Resistance. Just then, a strange character inside Finn and Rose's prison cell roused. He called himself JJ, and he had been listening to Finn and Rose's troubles. He said he could help them. Finn wasn't so sure. JJ didn't look like much of the codebreaker, but the thief promised he was well versed in the First Order's exchanging coding system. For the right price, DJ said he could get them out of the prison cell and sneak them on board the First Order Star Destroyer. As Rose and Finn decided what to do, BB-8 quietly rolled into the prison. He hadn't been captured and he knew he needed to help save his friends. Good thing the police were preoccupied with a game of cards. Finn and Rose decided to trust DJ. They didn't have too many other options, and the Resistance needed them. After DJ pressed a few buttons to smack the cell door, it actually opened. Finn and Rose were shocked, but then they were all shocked to find that the three guards had been tied up by BB-8. DJ applauded BB-8's hard work, but there wasn't time for celebrating as more guards came running. In all the chaos, Finn and Rose lost track of DJ and BB-8. They wanted to find their friends, but they needed to get away from the police before they were thrown back in prison. Finn and Rose ended up in a stable, but it wasn't just any stable, it was a father-year stable. Fathiers were magnificent creatures, but the wealthy patrons of Canto Bright only wanted to watch them race one another around the track. The people didn't care about how the animals were treated, they were just wanted to be entertained. When the fat years were increasing, they were keeping stables, not unlike the prison Finn and Rose had just escaped. Finn and Rose befriended the stable boy. He wanted to help the Resistance too. When the police reached the father stable, the stable boy pressed a button and all the stable doors suddenly opened, freeing the mighty fathers. The entire herd raced out of the stable, with Finn and Rose riding on the back of the head of the lead father. I don't know what a father. The animals were fast and they seemed to run even faster now that they were free. The herd of fathers raced around the track and then crashed through the intricate glass window into the grand hall of Canto Bright. Patrons scattered this way and that as the massive creature crashed their finery underfoot. Then the herd ran out into the streets, leaving a path of beautiful destructions in their wake as they trampled over sportive speeders. But the police were following close behind. Finn and Rose needed to break away from the city. Finn and Rose led their herd out of the sea cliffs. The fathers ran even faster in a wide open space. Rose noticed that the police were letting the rest of the herd go to focus their attention to Finn and Rose. Suddenly, Finn and Rose's father slumped to a stop at the edge of the cliff, throwing Finn and Rose to the ground. Rose thanked the father. The animals ran away freely into the night. Finn and Rose were trapped. Began to bright police would soon catch them, and all hope for their systems would be lost. But they had freed the fathers. They had done the right thing. Just then, a slick ship rose from behind the cliff in front of Finn and Rose. A hatch opened and BB-8 appeared. AJ and BB-8 had come to the rescue. Rose and Finn jumped into the ship. Right as the police arrived, they had escaped. Finn, Rose, and BB-8 could continue their mission to stop the First Order, help their systems, and save the galaxy. The end. And that was the Star Wars. Now we're going to read about the superheroes. What about the superheroes? Let me see.
This.
57. Black Panther Shuri to the rescue.
The two cookies. Mighty Thor.
Mighty Thor, becoming the Mighty Thor. Jane Foster always felt that helping people was her calling. Her hope was to heal the pain and suffering of others, so she became a doctor. She took good care in treating her patients, and they trusted her. She wasn't just good at her job, she went to extra length to comfort everyone she treated with kindness and a gentle heart. But like her patients, Jane was also sick. His good friend Thor admired her for helping others, but he was still worried about her. "You look tired, Jane. You need to take care of yourself and get some rest," I told her. "I know, but I also want to take care of the people who need me." Jane replied, "I can do both." "I understand," Thor said. "I feel the same sense of duty as a part of the Avengers." Jane had always wanted to meet them, so Thor took her to Avengers Tower and introduced her to the team. Jane was moved by their dedication to fighting against injustice and captivated by their peers' warrior abilities. Each member of the Avengers brought a different skill set to the group. Together, we are united by a common goal to protect and defend Earth and other realms of the universe from evil, Thor explained. Thor's sense of duty never changed, but one day he discovered that he was unable to lift his hammer. Mjolnir. He had become unworthy. He knew that he still had battles to fight, so he began to use Jarnbjorn, a weapon forged by the dwarves that he had used long before Mjolnir. So Mjolnir found someone else who was worthy. Jane heard Mjolnir calling to her. 1 minute, she was in bed being summoned. The next, she was flying through the stars to the moon. Whoever holds this armor, if they be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. Mjolnir lay in wait on the moon, gleaming with light and hope. The hammer had been cast from a mystical Asgardian metal that came from the heart of a dying star. "I can feel it pulling me toward it," Jane said to herself. Without hesitation, she effortlessly picked it up and lifted it into the air. As soon as she raised the hammer, a massive force of energy took hold of her whole body. She held tightly to Mjolnir and felt herself transforming into something powerful. While Jane had already been worthy of wielding the hammer, she now felt worthy. Finally, it all made sense. her need to help people, meeting Thor and Avengers, and now being called by Mjolnir. It was her destiny. She had become the mighty Thor. Jane used the power from Mjolnir to act as a brave warrior. She embraced her calling with honor by helping wherever she could. And sometimes that meant battling evils like Loki. He had stolen mystical glowing purple stone and Black Widow.
Which one do you like? I like this one. How about you?
How about this? I want to the Avengers. Mighty Thor. Sometimes that may be battling evil like being like Loki. He had stolen a mystical glowing purple stone and Black Widow was there to help the mighty Thor get it back. That's not you, Hammer. That's not your hammer, Loki told Jane. Jonah says otherwise. She retorted. But that's definitely not your other artifact, as Jane lunged for the stone. Loki quickly conjured a protective energy shield around himself. Jane raised his hammer as thunder boom and lightning flash. She sent a massive energy blast at Loki, shattering his protective shield. Loki fell to the ground, caught off guard, and the stone rolled out of his hand. Get it, exclaimed Black Widow. Jane told Loki, scolded Loki, you should know better than to take things that don't belong to you. Over time, Jane went on more and more missions. Sometimes she teamed up with Avengers, and other times she worked as her own. She knew that the Mjolnir had chosen for a reason. As a doctor, she had a calling to help people. As a superhero, she had the power and duty to protect all beings. But for Jane, being a hero wasn't just about having superpowers or being chosen. It was about purpose. It was about helping wherever she was needed, no matter what. Jane fought with strength and courage, acted out of humility, and led with honor. After all, she had not only a calling, but a destiny to fulfill. Jane was the mighty Thor. The end. Alright, we're done. So we have to have our nap. Now you go wash your hands. Go to wash your hands.
You go wash your hands.
Alright, we're done. We're done reading the book. Bye. For now.